AI is easily one of the most exciting technologies of our time. Companies are racing to integrate it, governments are pouring billions into it. But behind all that digital magic, there's this one critical question that, well, it rarely gets discussed. What is the real energy cost of AI? And what does all that mean for the climate?
When you ask an AI a question, and boom, the response comes back in seconds, it feels completely effortless, right? Like some seamless conversation just happening out there in the digital ether.
I mean, there's no smoke, no noise, no physical thing you can actually see. It just seems like a totally clean, software-driven interaction happening invisibly behind our screens. The power to create, to analyze, to answer these incredibly complex questions in a heartbeat, it really does feel like magic. But here's the thing. Behind every single one of those prompts, something very, very physical is happening.
The truth is, while AI is powering our future, it's also quietly increasing the world's carbon emissions. So what is the actual environmental price we're paying for all this digital magic?
Okay, so first, we have to understand that AI isn't just software floating around in the cloud. It runs on some seriously powerful physical hardware.
Behind every AI model, you've got thousands of these high-performance GPUs and processors. They're all housed in these massive buildings called data centers. These are basically giant warehouses packed with servers running 24/7, and they need a ton of energy just for cooling systems to keep them from overheating. This stat really puts the scale of the energy needed into perspective. Training just one large model, a process that can take weeks, even months, has a carbon footprint equivalent to the entire lifespan of 5 gas-powered cars. And keep in mind, that's just for the training part. And all that immense need for energy? It's driving a literal explosion in the number and size of data centers all around the world.
Even before this recent AI boom, data centers were already huge energy consumers, accounting for about 1 to 2% of all electricity used globally. That's a massive baseline to be starting from.
And looking ahead, this trend is just accelerating. With the rise of AI, some projections are suggesting that electricity demand from data centers could actually double within this decade. That positions AI as a major new driver of global energy demand.
So who's driving this demand? Well, the answer lies with the biggest names in technology, who are all in a massive race to build out their AI infrastructure.
Microsoft, Google, Amazon, these giants are investing billions into cloud infrastructure and AI partnerships. And as they scale up their powerful AI models and services, they're also dramatically scaling up their demand for electricity to power them. Think about your own daily habits. A simple Google search is one thing, but an advanced AI query, that's a different beast entirely. Analysts estimate that asking a question to an AI chatbot can be way more computationally intensive, using several times more energy than a standard search. Now multiply that by millions of users.
This brings us to a pretty fascinating paradox. How does this massive energy consumption square with all the public climate commitments these same tech companies have made?
Most of the major tech companies have very public sustainability goals. They talk about carbon neutrality, net zero emissions, and powering their data centers with 100% renewable energy. And to be fair, they are some of the world's largest corporate buyers of clean power.
However, here's the real challenge. The demand for AI power is growing exponentially. Meanwhile, the supply of new renewable energy, while also growing, is really struggling to keep pace. This gap means that even green data centers often have to rely on the grid for backup, which can include fossil fuels.
So all of this paints a pretty challenging picture, I know, but it's not the end of the story. The industry is actively searching for solutions to make AI more sustainable.
It's really important to recognize that this problem hasn't gone unnoticed. There is a concerted effort underway to tackle AI's massive energy consumption head-on. And these solutions are happening on a few different fronts. Companies are designing specialized, more energy-efficient chips just for AI tasks. They're optimizing the software and the algorithms to do more with less power. And they're building greener data centers with advanced cooling, or even locating them right next to renewable energy sources.
And here is the most interesting twist of all. The very technology causing this energy demand, AI itself, could also be a key part of the solution. AI is already being used to optimize energy grids, improve the efficiency of factories, and even help design more sustainable materials.
So let's bring it all together. Artificial intelligence is not as invisible as it seems. Behind every seamless response is a vast physical network of servers and electricity. The bottom line is pretty simple. As AI adoption grows, its environmental footprint is set to grow right along with it.
And this leaves us with a critical question for the future.
For the investors who are funding this revolution and the policymakers shaping its rules, this is the challenge that has to be solved. The answer will define not just the future of technology, but the future of sustainability as well.